Name code Dustin here, Fantasy Smack Talk. We're going to be talking a little bit of football. That's right, the draft happened. Football! Couldn't be more excited to be talking about it. The 2012 draft happened, so here we got to talk about those fantasy rookies, and we're going to start with those quarterbacks. And Dustin, hit the fans with who we feel is the #1 fantasy rookie quarterback this year.
It's got to be Robert Griffin III. This guy is going to get a ton of hype because of the Cam Newton effect. You know, Newton really rewrote the book about rookie quarterbacks in fantasy. We'll be the first to admit we were wrong about him last year. A lot of other people were wrong as well, but we weren't necessarily buying in that he'd have anywhere close to the year he had. We do think Griffin III does have the potential because of what he can do with his legs. You know, anytime your quarterback can maybe average over 50 rushing yards a game, that's going to be a nice boost. Redskins offense, a little scary. He doesn't have a Steve Smith type receiver. Pierre Garçon, not even close. But Robert Griffin III, ton of upside. We think he's worth going a little bit before kind of the Cutler Flaccos of the world, right after about, the top 13, 14 guys go off the board. That's where you take the gamble on the rookie.
Yeah, just because he's upside. Now we got to be talking about the other quarterback, that's Andrew Luck. And, we do think he's going to end up having a good career. This first season, though, it's going to be a little tough for him. You got, a lot of pressure. Not only #1 pick, but you got to remember, this is the guy that made Peyton Manning leave town, basically. He's got Reggie Wayne there, but not too many other weapons. In terms of the Colts and Andrew Luck and what we feel he's going to do this year, let somebody else take him in terms of fantasy, because he'll probably get drafted right after Robert Griffin III, and we're saying he ain't worth to be drafting there.
All right, let's move to those wide receivers. First one taken off the board in this year's draft was Blackman. This guy is what I like to call a specimen. One of those big,
I can be down with that.
One of those big physical receivers. 38 touchdowns in his last 2 years for Oklahoma State. He's going to be a red zone threat. The problem is he went to Jacksonville. Not the best situation with Gabbard as his quarterback. But, with Mike Thomas and Laurent Robinson, they got a decent little receiving core going on out there now. Not super excited about him. He'll probably get overdrafted, but he should be able to find the end zone.
Yeah, the rookie that should be taken over him is actually Michael Floyd coming out of Notre Dame, the 13th overall pick by the Cardinals. Here's why. He's not going to ever see double coverage. Larry Fitzgerald's on the other side of the field, and really like him. He kind of reminds us of a Bolden-type player, and we think that's why the Cardinals drafted him. Big receiver, great hands, really good in the end zone, grabbing those, the jump ball type of situations. So we could see Floyd having a very productive year and finding the end zone quite a bit.
One more receiver we're going to talk about is Kendall Wright out of Baylor, Robert Griffin III's favorite target. Over 100 catches last year, over 1,600 yards, 14 touchdowns. Pretty impressive numbers. A little bit of a problem, though. He's going to Tennessee. It's pretty crowded over there. Kenny Britt's going to come back. Got Damian Williams still out there. Nate Washington. We're not sure exactly how he's going to fit in out there. And the quarterback situation could be a little bit better as well. But obviously, from those stats from his college over in Baylor, pretty impressive. Very talented receiver.
All right, let's move to those running backs, and we got to start off with Trent Richardson. The Browns have already been saying he's going to be the starting back. He's going to get it on first, second, short yardage, goal lines, everything. So, for that reason, you got to love Trent Richardson. But we warn you, remember what happened to Ryan Matthews when he came out? He kept getting hype, and he ended up going late first round that year, and it really didn't work out for his owners that did that. Now, we're not saying Trent Richardson's going to be a bust, but, grabbing him the late third round or even middle third round could be a solid pick. Just don't be wasting your first round pick on this guy.
Another running back we got is Doug Martin out of Boise State. A solid senior year, 16 touchdowns. Decent out of the backfield catching the ball. He's going to Tampa Bay. Obviously they have LeGarrette Blount out there, but we saw what happened last year as far as if Tampa Bay is playing from behind, Blount goes to the sideline. They don't trust him in passing downs. It definitely looks like Martin could be that guy, kind of the third down back, and the guy that they can put in there during passing situations. They can trust him with his hands to catch the ball. Could be a decent guy in PPR leagues.
Now, before we talk about the last guy here, who's kind of a little bit of a sneaky bonus guy, we're going to have a much larger list on the site, so feel free to log in, check out the article. If we didn't talk about the guy that your team drafted, don't hate. It'll probably be mentioned in the article. So a little bonus guy here, pick number 170, and that's Vic Ballard out of Mississippi State. He went to the Colts. Joseph Adai's gone, and sure they have Carter there and a few other guys. But, Ballard had a ridiculous senior year. In terms of rushing, 1,189 rushing yards, 10 rushing touchdowns. He's just a guy to keep an eye on. He's going to compete. We don't think the Colts are going to be that great yet. And they might try to groom him to grow with Luck. Just gut call here. He might be starting at some point. Keep an eye on Vic Ballard.
Sounds like you got a little man crush going on.
Starting to get the man crush. Not quite there, but just starting.
So our first football show of the year. Obviously, we're excited. We're getting ready for it, but we got all our baseball stuff going on. And if you want to start talking any football, obviously the forums are up and running.
Yes.
So get in there and start chatting. I'm Dustin. This is Nameco.
Let's talk football.